Today's Bible reading is in Numbers chapter 6, verses 6 to 12. Okay, Numbers chapter 6, verse 6 to, I think it's 12. Up to here, 12. Okay, all the days he separated himself to the Lord, he shall not go near a dead body. Okay, not even his fathers or for his mother or for brothers or sister. If they die, he shall make himself unclean, because of his separation to God is on his head. Verse 8. All the days of his separations he is holy to the Lord. Verse 9. If If any man dies very suddenly beside him, and he defile his consecrated head, then he shall shave his head on the day of his cleansing, and on the seventh day he shall shave it. Verse 10. On the eighth day he shall bring two turtle dove and two pigeons on to the priest to the entrance of the tent of meeting. 11. Verse 11. And the priest shall offer one for a sin offering, and the other for a burnt offering, and make atonement for him because of the sin by the reasons of the dead body, and he shall consecrate his head that same day. Verse 12. Separated himself to the Lord for the days of his separation, and bring a male lamb a year old for a guilt offering, but the previous period should be void, because his separation was defiled. So, basically from verse 6 that we talk about, like in verse 1 to 6 that we talked about previously, talk about definition of the Nazarite, right? A Nazarite is they avoid cutting his hair or her hair, and both men and women will be Nazarite and not eat any product that is from grapes, and avoid contact with any dead body. That's just some of the that's one of the definition of Nazarite. And then as for 7, the verse 7 to 12. Okay, verse 7 to 12. Let's talk about the Nazarite and uncleanness, right? About death. Death was a source of a severe uncleanness, and contact with death compromised the Nazarite status, and it had to be remedied by offering 3 sacrifices. There's a sin sacrifice, right? There is the sin sacrifice within this context from 7 to 12. Sin sacrifice, this burnt sacrifice, and also there is a guilt sacrifice offering. Let me put it this way: 3 sacrifice. One is called sin sacrifice, burnt sacrifice offering. There's sins offering, burnt offering, and guilt offering. Like you can see that in Leviticus, chapter 1, verse 14 to 16, and then also Leviticus chapter 5, verse 7 to 10, and also Leviticus chapter and also Leviticus chapter 5, verses, I think it's like 14 to 16. Okay, again, the remedy by offering 3 sacrifice. 1, sin offering. Second, burnt offering. Third, guilt offering. And then by starting the period of this like Nazarite vow all over again, the previous period shall be void. See, you say here the previous period in verses. See, there is like, see the third one, guilt offering. but the previous period shall be void, and because of his separation was defiled. So the previous the so by starting the period of the Nazarite vow all over again, the previous period shall be void. In Numbers chapter 6 was, I think it's 12. Okay, 12. And then it's probably, it's probably like the issue of uncleanness that prompts the inclusion of the Lord on the the Nazareth at this point in the book. We can see that uh, um, in Numbers chapter 5 verse 2 to 4. Chapter 5 verse 2 to 4 is the 2 to 4, 2 to 4. See, command the people of Israel they will put out of the camp everyone who is a leprous and has discharge, okay, and everyone who is unclean through contact with the dead. You shall put out both male and female, put them outside the camp, and they may not defile their camp, in the midst of which I dwell. The Lord, the Lord dwell. The Lord spoke to Moses, right? Say, see, in the midst of which I dwell. In verse 4, and the people of Israel did so. So put them outside the camp, as the Lord said to Moses. So the people of Israel did so. As the Lord said to Moses. So the people of Israel did. See? So again, in verses like 7 to 12, we can see. Let's read one more time and end that. Okay. Not even so his father and his mother, and for his mother and for brothers or sister, if they die, they should make himself unclean, because of his separation to God on his head. All the days of separation he is holy to the Lord. And if anyone die very suddenly beside him, he defiles his consecrated head, then he shall shave his head on the day of his cleansing. On the 7 days, he shall shave it. On the 8th day, he shall bring 2 turtle dove, okay, and 2 pigeon, or 2 pigeon, or 2 turtle dove mean, or turtle dove, or 2 pigeon, 2 pigeons to the priest to the entrance of the tent of meeting. And the priest shall offer one for sin offering. See, I mentioned before, we've been verse 7 to 12. There is 3 type of offering, right? Sin offering, and also the other one is, the first one is sin offering, and then the second one and the other for a burnt offering. So the first one is sin offering. The second one is the second one is burnt offering. Why? And to make atonement for him, because he sinned by reasons of the dead body, and he shall consecrate his head that same day. Okay, consecrate himself on the same day, and then he separate himself to the Lord for the days of his separations, and bring a male lamb, a year old. And for the guilt offering, third one, see, for a guilt offering. But the previous period shall be void, because his separation was defiled. Okay, praise to the Lord for God's word. Okay, in the morning,